Hello everyone and welcome to the studios here at Culpeper Media Network for a brand new program featuring a focus on Culpeper County Parks and Recreation. Joining me to start things off today is Andrew Hardy, Director of Culpeper County Parks and Recreation. Mr. Hardy, if I may, Andrew, it is a pleasure to see you and welcome to the studios. How are you, sir?
Doing good, Johnny, and yourself?
You know what, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. Not everybody does ask that. It's very kind of you to be so thoughtful.
Oh, well, you know that's my nature.
So, first off, I want to say thank you for coming in the studio and talking with us today. We have a lot to get to because Culpeper County Parks and Recreation has been doing quite a bit, is doing a lot, and has a lot more planned in the future. So, first off, we talked briefly about that, but do me a favor real quick. For those who may not be familiar with Culpeper County Parks and Recreation past the name, is there kind of like a mission statement or just an overall arching view of how Culpeper County Parks and Recreation operates?
Yeah, I mean, there is a monster mission and vision statement that was designed, but to keep it short and simple, basically what we're about is providing services, be it programs, special events, and facilities that improve the quality of life for the residents of Culpeper County. I mean, that in a nutshell is exactly what Parks and Recreation is about.
And I like that. And so the purpose of the program today, I mean, we've been talking off camera, emails, we've seen you at the Board of Supervisors, you've been in the paper. But so why did we decide to get this program up and on the air?
I mean, with Culpeper Media, you guys are a great resource. You've helped us throughout the pandemic with the virtual videos. And we thought, what better way to reach the residents, to make them aware of the things that we're doing and we're planning on doing than utilizing Culpeper Media and digital platforms like Facebook and YouTube in a format like this. So it only seemed like it worked perfectly.
I like that. It was very well said, and we are here to help.
Yeah.
All right. So first off, let's just jump right into it.
Okay.
Over the past, I mean, well, since you've been director now almost 2 years, is it?
Came on officially September 15th of 2019.
Wow, your timing is just impeccable. So with the time spent, there has been an inordinate amount of highlights in your tenure so far with your staff. Let's talk a little bit about those. One of the more noticeable ones that I think folks have seen because the traffic has drastically increased are the, I guess, the facility additions, improvements around the area. Talk to me a little bit about some of those.
Yeah, I mean, coming on almost 2 years ago, Culpeper County and the Parks and Rec Department have a variety of outstanding facilities and parks. But what we really targeted was improving them not only for our current user groups, but to recruit special events coming into the county. And starting just one through the others with the sports complex, we've really targeted just the visibility of it from fence toppers to foul poles to the playability of the surfaces by getting them that they can withstand rain and precipitation. We're not having teams lose games. We've also even addressed the parking lot at the Culpeper Sports Complex as well because the site has been there almost 15 years and it was starting to alligator and stuff like that. So we resealed it, relined it. We added a brand new playground over the football soccer side where the concession stands at for that population there. Then with Lynn, we've expanded the trail systems. We've laid down new crush and run. We've done some planting out there to make it more park-like. With Spillman, we redid all 18-hole tee boxes for the disc golf course. And we're just trying to really give some TLC to our parks for the residents as well as the user groups. And like I said, it's been something we've been working on for about almost 2 years now.
Well, I must say, and you know, that was the first thing that I wanted to touch upon because that's the thing that people see. When they go out to the parks, I'll never forget the first time I went to Spillman. It was beautiful, and then the second time I went to Spillman, it looked even better.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that it's visual in nature, and folks see it when they come in, and you know, it gives them a little sense of pride in their parks. But there is a lot more than just those visual and those tangible improvements to that, and I think we might delve into that maybe a little bit today.
Yeah, and to touch on your point there, that's the coolest thing about Parks and Rec is, yeah, we are supported by the residents and their taxpaying dollars, but they can physically see their taxpayer dollars at work with quality programming, special events, and the facilities and how they work. So literally we're working for them and it's shown out there in the facility, so it's great.
It certainly is. Now, when you talk about facility improvement, most of we were talking about the Culpeper County Sports Complex.
Correct.
There have been a couple of events that have been able to be done because of some of these improvements. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, we've been really active. I mean, COVID kind of shut the world down around March and April, but our department staff included, got Miss Tabitha Riley off camera right over there, so I'll give her a little bit of a plug. You'll see her later. But our department still pushed forward, whether it's been the virtual stuff and the tournaments. We've been able, and again, it's not all us. John Carter with Culpeper Youth Rugby has been instrumental in the 2 rugby tournaments that we were able to recruit and bring on. And the first was done in June, and then the second was just done in July. And we had teams throughout the state of Virginia coming into the sports complex playing rugby all the way from kindergarten divisions straight up to high school divisions, which was outstanding. Then we're stepping forward, D14, which was the All-Star Little League opening ceremonies. Thanks to Culpeper Little League, we were able to assist them with pulling that event on, and that occurred just a handful, of weeks ago as well. Went off without a hitch, received a lot of positive response from other teams as well as league representatives that we might be in the conversation for the 2023 state tournament and the 2024 state tournament. And a lot of that not only goes to the department, but those groups for helping out and really buying in to what we're trying to do for not only athletics, but recreation and leisure services within the county.
So tell me about, what does that mean to have these large tournaments? You're talking about state tournaments and all these people coming in. What does that mean not only for Parks and Rec, but for Culpeper in general?
Parks and Rec has changed over 20 or 30 years. People used to think we were just gym shorts, whistles, but it's actually a lot more than that. When these teams are coming in, they've got parents, kids, grandparents, et cetera, and they're stopping at our restaurants. They're getting gas. They're going to breweries. They're going and experiencing all the great things in Culpeper County. And not to sound crazy, they're paying us and then they're leaving. And that, from true sports tourism, Parks and Rec in general, it improves the infrastructure of the county because they're coming in, they're supporting our local businesses, they're putting money into their accounts, which is then going to sales tax revenue and things like that. And like the saying goes, rising tide raises all ships. Events and activities and items like this are going to help the county across the board, which is good because we're utilizing our facilities for more than just our local usage. Then from the local side, all of our user groups are going to benefit from these groups coming in because we've already talked about improvements. One of the things we're really looking at is adding athletic field lighting to the sports complex. And each and every group, from Little League to CFA to soccer to rugby to lacrosse, would love to be able to increase their time at that property, especially in the fall. And special events like this are going to make that happen.
Well, fantastic. Now there is a lot to Parks and Recreation, and I think it's time now to delve in a little bit more to some of the programs that are coming up and going on. So Andrew, again, do me a favor, stay put. We're going to come back and talk some more, but in the meantime, we're going to talk a little bit more with the events and programs of Culpeper County Parks and Recreation with Tabitha Riley. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as promised, we are joined now by the Program and Facility Supervisor, Ms. Tabitha Riley. Tabitha, how are you, young lady? Pleasure to see you.
Same, Johnny. How are you doing today?
It's been a while since I've had you in this chair.
I know.
Seems
Actually,
like
I don't know
forever.
if I've ever been in the chair.
Are you sure?
I've only been behind, well, many years ago when Stan was still here. Okay.
So it's been ages, that's for sure.
Yes.
Well, maybe I've just been anxiously awaiting a return visit from you.
Well, thank you very much.
So again, thanks for coming in. Andrew and I were speaking earlier, as you may have heard, because you were, right over there. When the pandemic hit, you guys shifted focus.
Correct.
Which I believe everyone loves to say, pivoted. That's the word from the pandemic. Right. We pivoted.
Right.
And you did a lot of stuff virtually. So talk to us about some of those programs that you guys did.
Well, we were able to shift the focus and pivot to virtual programs in a large part thanks to you. So you were able to help us do those virtual crafty creations programs that our activity attendant, Miss Samantha Whitesides, is fabulous at doing. Yeah. She has so many wonderful ideas, and she was able to come up with we're up to what, 40 of them now?
66.
66. Oh, I'm missing a couple because I've kind of turned it over to her and just let her run with it. So, but no, she's done everything from 3-ingredient donut holes to making your own snow globe. She's done paper porthole projects. We were able to do those thanks to Culpeper Media. They are actually all still posted on our Facebook page, so if anybody missed them, they can certainly go to our Facebook page and see them and watch them. Some are a little longer than others. We kind of started out a little gung-ho, and they were really in-depth, really in detail, and we kind of shortened them up so that younger kids, shorter attention span. So, but had a great time doing that. We also did 1 or 2 intro to Tai Chi fitness classes that are online for people to watch to get them up and out and about, something they can do at their home or in the park. We also worked with one of our instructors. She shifted focus really well and offered a bunch of virtual cooking classes. We were able to do a lot of that, and it really, I think, helped. And just abiding by last July, we were able to host a summer camp. Really strict regulations with as far as masks and cleaning and everything. We followed all the CDC guidelines, but we were still able to do it. We were able to work within those requirements and still provide services for the county.
And yeah, and you really, the entire staff at Parks and Rec has just done a phenomenal job.
They're all fabulous. It is a group of fabulous people.
But I really like the fact that it wasn't just oh no, what are we going to do? It was, all right, let's go.
Right.
And you guys did so much so quickly for so many people.
You got to stay relevant. It's just because you can't meet in person doesn't mean there's not stuff you can do.
No, absolutely. Well, and you've even had some programs that went off splendidly well in the midst of everything, because you had the one, I think it was the Cycling Century, was it?
Yes.
Talk to us a little bit about that.
So we actually hosted our, the 13th annual Culpeper Cycling Century last year. We had 500 participants. We were one of the few cycling events that actually held last year. We did it all within CDC guidelines. Everything was one way in, one way out, so you weren't backtracking. Masks were required if you were not on your bicycle. This year, I'm in the midst of planning this year's Culpeper Cycling Century. So thankfully right now, all those restrictions have pretty much been lifted. We're still going to implement some of them just because for the flow, it worked.
Yeah.
So the one good thing that came out of this, I had to rethink the whole program or the whole event. So we were able to get better structure and better logistics out of it. So
there's a lot coming up.
yes.
And because of the fact that, we do see, we are able to, Parks and Rec is able to get out and have these classes within guidelines.
Right.
And people are desperately wanting to get out and enjoy Culpeper and all the programs you have to offer. You must have at least a few coming up for the fall.
Oh, absolutely.
Would you like to share with some of them?
Of course. So the most important thing, registration online, it opens on Friday. The following Monday, August 16th, we accept in-person, phone call, mail-in registrations. 80 to 90% of our people register online. It's convenient. You can do it at home in your pajamas.
If people want to find you on Facebook, they could search Culpeper County Parks and Recreation.
Correct.
Or go to facebook.com/Culpeper
Recreation. Yep.
And then you can find online at culpeperrecreation.com.
Correct.
And what's the phone number at the office?
And you can also give us a call because we love talking to all our customers. Phone number is 540-727-3412. You can speak with Miss Kathy at Extension 4, myself at Extension 5, or feel free to pester Andrew at Extension 7.
So you said registration begins August the 13th.
Correct.
And so it's available beginning then. How long is registration open?
Registration is open until 10 calendar days before each program.
Okay. A lot of the folks may think that it's just a class. We've talked about classes, crafting,
Right.
culinary, Tai Chi. I mean, we're already covering a lot. But there's also these day trips as well.
Right. We're bringing back day trips. I haven't done any day trips basically since December of 19. So pandemic, buses, Yeah, we just stopped doing day trips. We're starting them back up. We're going to be in October. We're going to the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, which will also, if you can choose to either just ride the bus and go up to the Inner Harbor, spend the day on your own doing what you want because there is so much to do up there. Or you can also include in the ticket admission to the aquarium. So the National Aquarium's up there, which is a fabulous place to visit.
It is nice.
Right. So we've got that coming up. I've got one or two others that are in the works being planned that I'm still finalizing details on. But again, your trips. We have a brand new program called Intro to Wrestling. The Culpeper Warriors are going to be teaching that for us. So anybody who is thought about getting into youth wrestling, we'll have that program. We have a How to Attract Pollinators to Your Garden program coming up. So get more butterflies and cute little bumblebees and all that in your program, as long as you don't have a bee allergy. Hobby Hill is doing the mozzarella class. They're doing the artisan bread class. These are all in-person classes. They're going to be doing cinnamon buns. Their cinnamon buns look fabulous.
Okay, so if I wanted to eat all this stuff, I'm going to need to be a little bit active. So
We've got you covered.
Oh, do you now?
We do. We've got Tai Chi, which if you've got bad knees, bad hips, whatever, is a great program.
Okay.
It's a very low-impact program. You want something a little more active? We've got Zumba for you. Zumba's coming back in person.
So really there is just, and I'll be honest with you, of all the classes that we have spoken about, there's even more that are being offered.
Right.
And
I can't tell you everything because we got to get people to go online to look at it.
Indeed. And it was a perfect segue online. You can find you on Facebook.
Correct.
If you're searching Culpeper County Parks and Recreation, you go to facebook.com/Culpeper Recreation. Visit them at culpeperrecreation.com.
Correct.
And 727
3412.
And what's your extension again?
I'm at extension 5.
Extension 5. Andrew's at 7 if you want to pester him as
Yes.
well. All right, so we talked about all these programs. Registration opens up Friday, August 13th. We have some big events coming up as well.
Yes, we do. Like we touched on earlier, the Culpeper Cycling Century is coming up. That is going to be on Saturday, October 2nd. Registration is still open. We have custom jerseys this year. So it is an extra fee, but they are really awesome. A couple of our volunteers designed them. You purchase them directly from the company. If you purchase them by the end of this month, they will be shipped and you will have them to ride with on the day of the event.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
So
another thing I like about the Culpeper Cycling Century is you can choose how much you want to ride.
There's
three different. It's fantastic.
There's 3 different courses. So if you're just getting started out or you need a short ride, whatever the case may be, we've got a 30-mile course. We have a 60-mile course, and we also have the Ultimate Challenge, the 100-mile course. People love it. So we have rest stops along the way. We provide food, Gatorade, water, restrooms, all the stuff you need to have a good day on the bicycle.
Now, one of the other things that I have heard about in preparation for the program, extremely excited about, is another October event at the very end of October event.
Correct.
Talk to us a little about what we have here.
We're bringing this one back. I have not done this event. The last time I offered was 2006.
Really?
So a Moonlight Halloween candy hunt. So we will be at the Culpeper Sports Complex out on the football fields. Kids can come in costume. We open the doors at 6 o'clock, about 6:45 or so. We'll have a costume contest, 3 different age groups. So it's geared for the 2 to 12-year-old population.
Okay.
There'll be prizes for the best costume contest or the best costume for each age group. And then after that, we have the 3 different football fields set up with candy spread out, and the kids go hunt for candy with a flashlight.
All right, so moving on, one of your favorite events, I believe, is the Wicked Bottom 5K.
Correct.
Coming back. I know it's a little bit down the road, but talk to us a little bit about that.
Next spring, on the first Saturday in May, so I believe it's going to be May 7th, will be the 14th annual Wicked Bottom Cross Country 5K and half-mile fun run. So 3.1 miles, you can walk it, you can run it, whatever your preference is. We also have a half-mile fun run before the event for kids or for adults. Again, some people aren't quite ready for the 5K yet, so it's a really great fun event. So that'll be posted and open for registration in January.
Well, I'm excited. I know you are excited as well.
Yes.
As a lot of these things have have gone by the wayside. They're coming back now.
Yes.
And I know not only are folks excited to get out and enjoy what Culpeper has to offer, I know Parks and Rec is excited to provide
Yes, very much
many
so.
of the things that people come out to enjoy.
It's just so nice seeing people enjoy themselves doing the activities.
Yeah. And really quickly, another thing that we touched on briefly earlier in the program, but I want to really talk about now is with the facilities that we were speaking of earlier, and with the availability, with more availability, folks are able to rent facilities,
Yes.
and the registration is open back up. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, certainly. So we have Len Park, which has a picnic pavilion. So pavilion, picnic shelter. Pavilion has an indoor space. So it has an indoor activity room, heat and AC, with restrooms. It also has a kitchen facility. The kitchen is just a warming facility, so there's no stove. It's got a microwave, coffee pot, refrigerator, stuff like that. It is available for rent. All rentals do have to be completed a minimum of 30 days in advance. We're booked up. We
Really?
started accepting rentals back in April, and we have reservations all the way into December already.
Wow.
So the month of August is pretty much booked up on the weekends.
Oh my goodness.
So September, October, we still have some availability. November, it's a great facility for birthday parties, for family reunions, baby showers, weddings, any type of little get-together that you want to do. It'll seat 60 people inside, 60 to 80 people outside. So it's a nice facility. We also have Spillman Park. So it has a picnic shelter. So just a roof, concrete slab, picnic tables. We don't have electricity or water out there yet, so hopefully in the future, eventually we will. But Spillman's a great little park. It's in the northern end of the county. There's a disc golf course there. There's a playground for 2 to 5-year-olds there. We have a multi-purpose field. There's walking trails. It's just a beautiful park.
It is an absolutely, it's almost a hidden gem.
Very much so.
That's not going to be hidden for much longer.
Right. You want to rent Spillman Park for a full day and you're a county resident, it's $20 on the weekend.
Sorry, what was that?
Right.
Wow, that's
So
impressive.
as of right now, prices may change, but as of right now, $20 on the weekend. Len Park, you want the indoor activity room and the outdoor shelter area for half day, it's $80 for a county resident.
Oh,
So
very reasonably
non-county
priced.
residents are certainly able to use it. There is a different fee because our facilities are taxpayer subsidized. So
Well, Tabitha, again, I want to thank you so much for telling us a lot about the events, programs, and opportunities that Culpeper County Parks and Recreation offers. Again, if folks are looking to rent a facility, register for online classes, or just figure out exactly what's being offered, because there really is a lot more
Right.
than we were talking about here today. Again, culpeperrecreation.com.
correct.
You can find you on Facebook by searching Culpeper County Park and Recreation. And again, that phone number once again.
540-727-3412.
And your extension?
5.
And Andrew's is?
7.
There we go. Make
Or
sure
you can
about
speak
that.
with Kathy at extension 4. She can answer all your questions as well too.
All right. Again, I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us about all that Culpeper County Parks and Rec has to offer. Now, we have a few more things to get to, and to get to those, we're going to bring back Director Andrew Hardy. As promised, we welcome back Director of Culpeper County Parks and Recreation, Andrew. You know, it's been a long time since I've seen you, buddy.
Pleasure.
I mean, wow, it's just been forever.
Just a handful of minutes ago, I guess.
I mean, I believe it was. So Tabitha did a pretty good job, and you guys have a lot going on.
Yeah, I tell you, she sitting over there by the door again did an outstanding job. But you know, you see the enthusiasm that she brings, but she's not the only staffer that's not here on camera, obviously. Kathy Fulcher, we mentioned, is our office manager. She kind of keeps us all straight, make sure we're spending the money appropriately. But then on the park side, a lot of credit's got to go to our park services staff, which is led by Joe Kuntz. He's our park superintendent, and his team, which consists of Jay Buckle, Jared Fulcher, Steve Brock, Greg Jenkins. And the newest addition to our team is our athletic turf specialist. He just came on about 2 weeks ago, and that's Mr. Alex Laird. So going to the facilities comment that we were talking earlier, we're now taking over the maintenance of the sports complex and the mowing, and we've got a guy 40 hours a week, 52 weeks out the year that's going to be in charge of taking care of that property. So that'd be awesome too.
Well, yeah, you and your staff. I think one of the things that is exemplary, is obvious, is the passion for which you operate. That's not only evident with you sitting here, but also Tabitha and everyone that we've worked with and even heard about with Parks and Rec. Samantha coming in here doing tremendous work week after week, and I think that is a testament to just the love of building something with Culpeper County Parks and Recreation for the Culpeper community. And I think it shows every single day in what you guys do.
Yeah, it's exciting. If you can't get excited about Parks and Rec because we were literally creating services and experiences for people, you have a hard time probably waking up in the morning. But to go to our staff, it's just not only us. We've got a ton of great organizations that have supported us through this 2-year journey, that we've been on, whether you're talking, again, Culpeper Little League, Culpeper Football Association, Culpeper Soccer Club, Culpeper Youth Rugby, Culpeper Lacrosse, Friends of the Rappahannock. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. We mentioned Mr. Gary Deal earlier. He's just coming off his summer basketball clinic that had 98 kids registered for that program. And the number of volunteers, I want to say it was 20 or 21, I believe it was. And without his help, without the support of these organizations, the tournaments, the programs, the classes, the opportunities for residents to engage in recreation and leisure services, they wouldn't be there. So we've got to thank them as well.
The community partnerships are one of the I would say almost cornerstones of what Culpeper is and our identity. And I think this is a perfect example of just that.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned it. Where I came from, only being here 2 years, the level of civic support from the community is far beyond the community that I came from, where it was like, if it wasn't government led, finding organizations that stepped up to run activities, programs, and improve the quality of life, it was hard to do. But here, you throw a stone and you've got volunteers and groups jumping on board to improve and offer services. It's quite refreshing, to be honest.
Well, that's one of the things I've loved about Culpeper for many, many years, as I'm sure you will enjoy it for many, many years to come. Now, Andrew, before we close things out, there are just a couple things. We've talked about so much that you have done. And we talked about a lot of what you are currently doing. But I want to kind of touch on a little bit, big picture, farther down the road. For those who are interested in helping with the mission, who want to understand kind of what are some goals in the future. Can we talk a little bit about some of those?
Talking about the future projects and so forth that we've got going? Yeah, I mean, if you followed the newspaper, if you followed the board meetings, recreation's really become a priority for Culpeper County. And I think a lot of that goes back to the changing dynamics within this community. The population's over 52,000 residents, and COVID, as bad as it was, it really showed people how important programs, activities, and facilities were. So with that in mind, the Board of Supervisors and County Administration have been amazing in supporting some of our short and long-term goals. Right now, within the upcoming capital improvements project, we've got the Culpeper County Fieldhouse. If you followed that, they've allocated $3.3 million to that project, and it is set. Again, we're in the planning phases now, but we've got the elevations, we've got the floor plan done, and it's slated to be built at the Culpeper Sports Complex. So kind of the utilizing facilities to improve programs and working hand in hand, that facility is going to include an 8,800 square foot full-size gymnasium, which has 6 hoops that are going to be adjustable so we can actually work for the younger kids as well, a drop-down partition that can be divided into 2 courts, overlays in the gymnasium of volleyball and pickleball courts, and then the most exciting thing that I'm really thrilled about is our offices are right down the road from you, right here on 131 Main Street. We're not really connected with the community. So within this field house, our offices would also relocate from this site to an active recreation center. So we would be right there when folks are coming in to do basketball, pickleball, aerobics, arts and crafts classes. And just like Tabitha's energy and enthusiasm, we're going to connect with the community. And that's what Parks and Rec's about. So that's the 8,800 square foot side, and then there's a whole other portion where our main offices will be that also include an aerobic studio and 3 classrooms that have movable partitions so that we can offer a variety of the cool classes Tabitha was talking about.
You all must be extremely excited about this opportunity.
I'm over the moon, but it's just not me.
Yeah.
You know, our entire staff is excited that Parks and Rec is trending in the right direction, you know, and I'm fortunate that each and every one of our team members have jumped right on board. They're enthusiastic about what the future can be. I know the board and administration is, and the feeling that we've got from the residents is they're excited too about the future of recreation in Culpeper County. But the funny part is it just doesn't stop there. You know, we were talking about the field house, the pickleball project, you know, pickleball is a fun community. You know, each person, I think I get a call from several pickleballers weekly, and we are in the process of in the CIP as well. The board allocated $130,000, and we have a designed 4 courts that we're also looking at putting at the Culpeper Sports Complex, and hopefully that project will continue to move forward, and we're going to be able to bring the first ever outdoor pickleball courts to Culpeper County.
That's pretty impressive. That's really impressive.
Yeah.
You guys are ahead of the curve. I mean, Spillman Park had the disc golf course,
Correct.
Disc golf course, which has just gained in popularity immensely over the past year. Pickleball the same way. To be honest with you, I didn't hear about it 2 years ago, and now it's everywhere. And you guys are right at the forefront of all of this stuff.
Well, it's funny you talk about Spillman and disc golf course. During COVID, we hosted actually 2 tournaments at Spillman Disc Golf. One was on Halloween. It was night disc golf, where the tournament players came out with LED discs and they were out there slinging them. And then we had just another one this past weekend. It was with the Nova Women's Club, and they had 72 women that were out there over this last weekend playing disc golf. And then we've got another tournament scheduled, and this is crazy because I've only been in Culpeper 2 years, and it gets cold up here. But they've got a tournament scheduled for December the 11th at Spillman Park.
Okay.
Now, for me, I like cold weather, but I don't know about throwing an 18-hole disc golf tournament in December, but I imagine it's going to be pretty cool. If they get snow, that'll be unique too.
Yeah, we'll have to bring the cameras out for that one.
I agree.
Well, again, Andrew, pardon me, we have spoken about so much, mainly because the staff, the community has allowed Parks and Recreation to have just immense success. And I'm sure with what the communities are able to offer in forms of support, leadership, and staff working with you, I'm excited to see where Parks and Rec is going to continue to go in the future.
Yes, sir.
And if you don't mind, I was wondering maybe next month if you could come back here and we could talk a little bit more about what Parks and Rec has to offer.
I tell you, Johnny, I mean, I appreciate the platform and you and Nicole and y'all's team helping us out, that we would love to make this a monthly thing so we can keep residents informed about what's going on.
You know what? I think we should just consider that one done.
I like it.
Again, thank you so much for your time today.
I appreciate it, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, if you want to learn more about Culpeper County Parks and Recreation, you can find them on Facebook, facebook.com/Culpeper Recreation. You can find their website, culpeperrecreation.com, or you can always give them a call at 727-3412. His extension is number 7. Tabitha's is 5, and Kathy's is extension 4. Either way, make an engagement for an opportunity that Parks and Rec has for our Culpeper community. Well, folks, until I see you at Len Park or Culpeper County Sports Complex, or maybe at our artisanal bread class, you have yourselves a great day, and of course, a better tomorrow.